So you got a floor pan temporarily installed in there, and it fits pretty good. Passenger side, a little bit of gap there. It's about 1/16 of an inch, but I don't think it's nothing a little hammer and dolly you can't take care of. Up front here, that's spot on. It looks like it's actually just like a factory fit. The aftermarket toe board that I bought, it needs a little work. Got to have a flange coming out this way a little bit towards the back of the car, because I guess they assume that you're just going to butt it up against the floor pan. But I'm going to try to make it a little bit like factory. So I'm going to add flange onto that. Did order some new parts. Ordered a new inner rocker for inside of here and the other side. I might use this little section of the inner rocker there. The reason why I bought it. I'm probably going to cut some access holes on the outside of the rocker to look in to see how bad the inner rocker is, if it's bad on the driver's side. Worst case scenario, I sell one back. But the passenger side, I think I'm going to replace it because there's a bunch of rust pitting up front in here. That looks pretty nasty. So, alright. Let me go flip this thing up on the side, see what it looks like from underneath. It is up on the side. Like I said, it fits really, really freaking good. I think before I take it off, I'm going to clamp this up here, take a few measurements, see how everything looks. Yeah, across the bottom, fits great on the driver's side. A little bit back up in here. I think why it's not compressing all the way in is it's getting held up a little bit back underneath there, like the rust popped out. Rust spots were like the spot welds on from torque boxes, were welded on from AMD over in Taiwan, and just like general straightening of the flanges will probably make this fit a little bit better. This is typical. It goes typical with the any metal work you're going to do. So I want a straight line. Got my carbide scratch. Got my Dicam. Yeah, it's a little excessive for this, but it's been a while since I've used it. Don't really need it for what I'm doing, but yeah, kind of fussing around the garage tonight. So, I'm not the straightest cut in the world. If I had a shear or something like that, it would have been a hell of a lot easier. I'd stop it, tack, 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 bend, tack, bend, tack, bend, tack. It's still what I'm going to do, but still gonna make a pretty straight line out of all of it. Alright, let's lay out some blue fluid here. So that way I can see my scratch line. Alright, got a minute or two to dry off, harden a little bit. Alright, I'm going to clamp my straight edge here, or my framing square. And I'm just going to find the lowest point, go slightly below that. Make sure I got enough meat on everything so I can get a nice straight edge. get my 80 grit flap in here, and I'm just going to grind it right to that line. You know, grinding gets it pretty close. Just to take a flat file to it, takes down the high and low spots. It's just something I learned over the years. Works pretty well, pretty effective. Doesn't take too long. All right, we can get a reset up here and see, get it clamped up on here and see how well it fits. All right, after a good trim, cleaning everything up a little bit. Doesn't fit too bad there, but I think on this I gotta take a little bit more off there to make it straighter. So that way I can take the flange longer. Just gonna eyeball it. So what I'm going to do is put this on the end, make some marks, use the start of the bend, just there, and it looks to be the end of the bend, hit around, about there. I'll take my pliers, my bending pliers, bend, move, bend, boom, bend, boom, see if I can make that radius. That's not too bad. Just gotta open it up a little bit. Yeah. Now I get my dolly just to tighten it up a little bit. Hammer dolly, tighten that radius up this a smidge, make it just a little big. And there it's a little tighter. This is like 3/8. That's more like 1/4 inch. 5/32, somewhere around there. These are probably my two favorite body dolly, the hammer dolly set. I have a, believe it or not, I actually have a Harbor Freight one I've had forever, and I like that hammer style like this a little better because it actually has a crown to it. And this guy, the Eastwood one has a slightly, it's flat, but a slightly concave face, where the other one has a convex face. So what I'm going to do is just tap this along here. And you see how that radius tightened up just by a few light taps. You know, I'm choked up on the hammer pretty far, close to the head of it. There's 1,000 jokes there. But you're not putting a lot of force into it, you're just using whatever arm power. When you get down here, you get the advantage of leverage and that force, extra force flying through the air and the potential air energy. So, let's try that again. Hey, this is stored energy. Yeah, stored energy, potential energy, all that fun stuff. I'm trying to remember my high school physics class, and that was 25 years ago. out. We're just gonna keep working this out. Tack, 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 tack till I get probably up here somewhere. Take that clamp off, tack around there, and that'll be it. And there we have it. After a little bit of time of fitting, trimming, and tacking, I ran a little bead there just for shits and giggles to see how horrible I am. But yeah, I'll just take it in there and grind it smooth. You'll never really know that that was one or two pieces. The problem I have is this material's 040, which I think is 18 gauge, and my filler rod's 060, which is a little too thick for this. I do have some 030 MIG wire I could try, because what's happening is it's taking too much heat to melt the filler wire compared to too much amperage compared to the base material or the parent material. Adding the filler wire in there, it takes a lot more amperage for that to melt. And what that means is, you see around here is this coloring is called the heat effective zone. So when you're putting current or amperage or voltage and all that stuff going through there, it heats up the metal, and that heat goes further and further and further. So if I had smaller filler wire and I turn up the amperage a little bit, I could get that heat effective zone to be smaller. I know it's just a sheet metal for an area that nobody's never going to see, but hey, I know better. So yeah, that's it for the night for that. I'm going to go give it a quick try in the car and see how it fits. And there you go. So you can see how much more flange I have to work with there. I mean, it's little things like that, or it take time to do, but hey, you know what, let's do it once, do it right, let's get her done. So after some shitty TIG welding later, this is what we got. I said I am not very good at TIG welding, but made it enough to melt metal. That way you just hit the wire wheel, grind it smooth, hammer it out a little bit, which I already did, hammer it out, so make the relieve the stress in it, because what happens is the metal will shrink after it gets heated up a little bit, and I just want to flatten out a little bit more to give it a stretch and put it back to where I want that flange. Alright, let me get the camera set up and you can watch me wire wheel and grind. And there we have it. Finished out. It's not perfect. I didn't intend it to be. I know I'm capable of doing that at the moment. But that's where the extended flange is on there. I'm going to leave it long for now, because I cut one, measure once, cut twice, that kind of deal. Measure twice, cut once, whatever. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut this out though. Get this started. I'm going to cut up along here, along there, up there, across the front, down and around the tunnel, down, along where the flange is. See if I get the camera set up here so you can get the how I'm doing, and let's make some noise.